just sit on computers all day and just like harass people. They hack into your bank accounts, into your Twitter accounts.
They hack your Twitter account and say gay slurs.
Hey man, how's the new video coming?
Oh, I haven't actually started working on it yet.
You mean you're not doing work on another care guides for absolute lads?
No, I was gonna wait a while before I do another one of those.
Just do another video showing off all your reptiles or something. I don't know.
Okay, but I want to do this commentary video where I talk about like spider ball pythons and like just like reptile morphs in general and compare those to like dog breeds like French bulldogs and how it's like not very good for the reptile industry.
Yeah, but the videos
I think
with
it's
the
gonna be really
reptiles
good.
like actually in them, just they get more views. They're more popular. I feel like more people just want to see them.
Okay, but I'm not doing it for the views. I just want to make content
videos than that. He's got a point. So what are you gonna do? I mean, you got to do something. I mean, you can't just sit here.
I know. Maybe I'll do like a tier list video or something, or I don't know.
No, come on, do like a feeding video or something, or like a my reptile routine.
But
video.
I really don't want to. Like I have principles. I don't want to make like low effort content. If I'm gonna make a video, I want to put a lot of effort into it because
do it.
Like
you could let us be in a video, like frame it in like a skit or something where we're like telling you what kind of video you should do. Yeah, I've only been in one video. I can do the next one for you.
But I don't want to do that type of video right now because it's like it's not very high effort content. If I want to make a video,
you're not listening. Do it. Come on, do it. Do it.
Neither
do it. Do it.
Fine, I'll do it. I'll do it. Jesus. So first thing I do when I wake up is I'll check the schedule and see who is being fed today. Generally, I feed all my smart lizards, Elio, Cracky, Slinky, Bosk, all my monitors, and my jeweled Lacerta on Mondays, Wednesdays, Fridays, and also Sundays. And then the dumb heads, which is just my leopard geckos and my White's tree frogs, they get fed pretty much every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday just because of the fact that they're not quite as active, so they don't need quite as much food. And then the snakes are all on different schedules. Nyx, my Mexican black king snake, she gets a fuzzy once a week. Athena also gets fed once a week, and Apollo gets fed every 10 days. I used to feed Athena every 10 days, but because she's a lot more active than Apollo, I decided to up her feeding to every week. And after I check the schedule and see who's being fed, I'll go grab my water jug and the poop cup. But more on that later. Then I'll go downstairs and grab the frozen and refrigerated food.
All right, mealworms in here. We got mice up here.
Then after that, I'll fill the water jug with filtered water from my fridge. It's purified, so it doesn't have any chemicals like chlorine or etc. that tap water has. Don't give your tap water to reptiles as drinking water. It's not the most dangerous thing in the world, but tap water often does have cleaning substances like chlorine, and it's just safer to give them clean drinking water. Then I'll go and defrost the mice. I do this by putting all 3 mice in a plastic bag, rolling all the air out of that plastic bag, sealing it, and then putting it in a deli cup filled with hot water, so that way they sort of defrost over time. After I start defrosting the mice, I go ahead and assemble all the feeders and just oversee what I'm gonna feed everyone for the day, depending on what I have.
All right, so we got medium to large size dubia roaches. We have small hornworms that I got for free from dubiaroaches.com, so shout out for that. And then we have some extra large dubias, and we have giant mealworms, and then of course we have the mice that are decomposing in the bathroom.
Dubia roaches and mealworms are pretty much the staple of what I give everyone all the time, though as you saw, sometimes I get hornworms or crickets for free, and I'll just use those on occasion. So Elio gets fed first, and he is such a great eater. He'll eat crickets readily, he'll eat mealworms, he'll eat dubia roaches, he'll even eat fruit from time to time, but bugs are pretty much his staple. And I dust his food with calcium and D3 pretty much every day. That's just to make sure his bones stay healthy and he gets all the mineral supplements he needs. Then I'll go and feed Cracky. His appetite is pretty substantial as well. When I first got him as a hatchling, he would refuse to eat anything other than crickets, like very small crickets. And then after some good weaning, he decided that he wanted to eat dubia roaches. I also dust his food pretty much every day with calcium and D3. I've had him for a little over a year now, and to this day, he still just absolutely refuses to eat mealworms, which is okay because dubia roaches are really good for him. They're super healthy, packed with protein, all that kind of stuff. But yeah, he just refuses to eat mealworms. Now you can watch him eat. Despite the fact that Slinky is a monitor lizard, he doesn't eat quite as much as Elio and Cracky because he's really not very active. If you didn't see my reptile room video, I talk a little bit about Slinky as an import. He is a wild caught animal, had parasites, and is missing pretty much all his fingers on his front 2 feet, which makes moving around a little bit difficult for him. I think the main problem that I have with Slinky when feeding him is he's either over enthusiastic about his food to the point of where he'll go and attack a roach or a worm that I have in the tongs, and he'll go at it so hard that it ends up flinging across the room, or sometimes he's not enthusiastic enough where he's just hiding behind his hide and just refuses to come out, and I'll just have to wait till he's up and basking or his hide in order to feed him. Then I'll feed Bosk because he's the absolute easiest to feed. He gets his own special dubia roach size just because he is so substantially bigger than all of my other reptiles. He gets the extra large size dubia roaches and basically just gets to eat anything that anyone in the room doesn't want. Bosk just gets to clean up. He'll eat literally anything. Editor Ben here. Before you click off this video, just wait for Bosk. It's gonna be super cool. But I just want to say thank you to everyone who's been watching my channel, subscribed, has been consistently liking the videos and leaving comments. I really appreciate it. If you haven't already subscribed, please do so. Like the video, share it, do whatever you want. Here's Bosk. Then I'll move into the snakes. They have a pretty easy feeding routine. I'll take the mice out of the defrosting cup, I'll wrap them in a paper towel just to dry them off, and then they all kind of get their food. Nyx is pretty easy to feed. When I first got her, she was a hatchling. She was really skinny, kind of underfed, and just kind of in bad shape. And I gave her 2 pinkies a week, sometimes 3 almost, just because she was so small and skinny. And she ended up fattening up, switched her over after she grew pretty rapidly to a pinky and a fuzzy a week. And then I ended up switching her over to a fuzzy every 5 days. And now that she's getting pretty sizable, she's still a juvenile, but I feed her once a week, just a fuzzy once a week. Apollo's pretty easy as well. I've switched back and forth between having him on live mice and having him on frozen. He's just such a good eater. He'll take literally anything down. But now I just feed him frozen. It's so much safer. It's much healthier for them as well. And I give him one medium-sized mouse every 10 days. I used to feed him pretty much every week. I noticed he was starting to pack on a few pounds, so now he gets just one mouse every 10 days. Athena's kind of the opposite. I also used to give her a live mouse once a week, but I noticed that she had a little bit more trouble than Apollo did because Athena is a rear-fanged venomous snake, but she's also a constrictor. So she'll grab onto a mouse and she'll try to constrict it to death while also using her venom, which means that both of those tools to her aren't exactly the most effective as they could be. Like a rattlesnake just uses its venom and Apollo just uses its constriction. Athena uses both. So with a big mouse that's struggling, doesn't really go that well usually. So I switched her over to just frozen. I initially had her on the same schedule as Apollo, feeding her once every 10 days, but Athena is just so insanely active. Like I've never seen a snake as active as Athena. So she's constantly, burning those calories and slimming herself down. Anyway, here she is. Then after the snakes are all said and done, I'll try to feed Fatty. Fatty's nocturnal, so she only really eats at night, but sometimes she is active and awake during the day for some reason, and I'll attempt to feed her then. She's kind of a finicky eater, and she's not very active, so that's why I only feed her every 3 days. As you can see here, she's not really interested in the food that I'm giving her, so I just come back usually around this time at night and try again.
Bruh.
frogs are strictly nocturnal. They do not come out during the day. They only come out when it's dark, usually after 9 or 10 p.m. They're really enthusiastic about food. I would definitely check out my White's Tree Frog care guide if you want to see them eat some more. The only issues that I run into while feeding them is they like to stack themselves in this vertical tube. Chumbus, the female, is the dominant and the social one, and then Gromulus, the male, isn't so much. If Chumbus ever happens to be at the bottom of the tube, they don't get fed because Gromulus never comes out. His fat dumper just blocks Chumbus from coming up. But usually that doesn't happen. Usually Chumbus is out and Gromulus is at the top of the tube, and I'll feed them and you can watch them go crazy. Okay, the reason there's not much footage is because frog tank is here, my nightstand is here, my bed is here. This is the space that I'm working with. It like barely fits my foot going across, so my whole body. Let's use old vertical footage, whatever. I didn't want to do this video as according to the skit, but it was actually kind of fun to film and kind of fun to edit, so let me know what else you guys want to see. If you haven't already, please subscribe. I super appreciate that, and if you like the video, I would also like it if you like the video, because that also helps me out very much, so.